Hello, welcome to another episode of the Horror Vision Presents Slasher Party. My name is Sean.
And I'm Missy.
And I'm Jessica.
And Jessica, talk about
How we got
the
here?
books that so we have a pre-order coming up pretty soon for Fatally Yours, correct?
Yes. I didn't say my last name. I wrote, my name is Jessica Lacey. I am a slasher novelist, and I wrote a book called Tastes Like Candy. My second book, Fatally Yours, is coming out May 5th. It's serial mom meets father of the bride, and it's a blast.
Fuck yeah, yes it is. Yes, it
Yes,
is.
it is.
There's also a pre-order up for Tastes Like Candy 2, correct?
Tastes Like Candy 2, which is now called Viciously Sweet. And I've been describing it as A Nightmare on Elm Street meets Megan.
Ah.
So, yeah.
I've read that one as well. That is also awesome. So y'all get up on that. Pre-orders. Tastes Like Candy you can grab anywhere right now, and you should. It's great. We've people like I just picture people that like haven't listened in a while are like, who's this chick that wrote the same books as the other broad that used to be on here? Oh my god.
It's all a blur.
So pre-order those books. My book, Black Gloves and Broken Hearts, is also available anywhere y'all want. Barnes and Noble, Borders. Nope, gotcha, because Borders is long dead.
It's a giallo.
It is. It's a modern teenage giallo. Lots of people die. There are black gloves. There are broken hearts. It's fun. What is not fun is regrets. And I got to tell you, I don't regret much in my life, but I definitely regret this segment I'm going to play right now from our previous episode.
There was going to be a 5, and it actually got made, and it got turned into they named it something different because they felt the Prom Night name was beginning to wane after 4.
Okay, so you realize then that this episode is not the end of our prom night.
Oh God.
I could have just walked away. I could have saved us all some pain. I could have not said, oh, well, we have to watch this, this thwarted Prom Night 5, The Club. And I did not.
But once we knew it existed, we would have had to.
Like the guy that reads the fucking Latin out loud, So we're going to talk about...
It's what we do.
It's what we do. God damn.
Right.
So we're going to talk about The Club, which was originally going to be Prom Night 5. And amazingly enough, producer Peter Simpson, I guess, thought that the club Prom Night was waning in popularity and that it would tie down the club. The club was, Prom Night was not worthy of being associated with the club. If you listen to our previous episode on Prom Night 3 and 4 and the remake, you'll know how much I disliked 4 and the remake. It doesn't even come close to how I feel about 5. This was one of the most painful watches of my entire life. It was so bad, and all I could think. Well, Missy, what was the trivia you told me about this movie?
That originally, Corey Haim was hired to be in this movie. They shot a little bit. He was supposed to play the John Rotman character, but he got fired for like drugs and bad conduct.
So he was apparently smoking crack from what I read. So he's all cracked out. And all I could think after I read that early on as I was watching the movie, because, I retreated to my phone very quickly. But all I could think is a cracked out Corey Haim would have made this movie so much fucking better.
It would.
Yes.
So much better. And I say that as somebody who sat through and enjoyed in some hellish way the Backlot Murders with Corey Haim. Guys, I think you both enjoyed this way more than I did. Please talk about the club. Missy, talk about the club.
Okay, well, admittedly, I've watched it twice because the first
Oh
time I
my
watched,
God, you're like Superman.
He
well,
hates
no,
herself.
well, no, the first time I watched it, I admittedly, like, you have no clue what's going on. They don't give you any backstory. They just kind of throw you into this stuff. And by the time, once we got to the payoff at the end, it made not much sense, but a little more sense. So the last two nights, since I knew we were going to be talking about it, and I was tired and didn't want to put something new on, I was watching this. It makes more sense the second time around. I mean, it's still not a good movie, but I mean, I don't think it's terrible. I thought it was better than better than four. I mean, I hated four. Part four is one of the worst movies I've ever sat through. It was way too Catholic. This at least gets stupid and you can laugh at it.
What payoff at the end? Like, what did I
Well,
miss? Because the end just like backs everything up, and then everybody just does the same thing
all right.
again. It makes
The
no
way
sense.
the way they wrap the story where I mean, I guess usually this is a bad movie from 1994. So if you want to watch it and you care about spoilers, turn it off. But
Take it from me.
otherwise,
Listen to us. Don't
right.
watch the movie.
Oh, shit.
So it's not good, and I wouldn't recommend it. But when you find out where the story is going, and at the end, you get. I don't even know if I can put this into words because
Please, I'm depending on you right now because you're like the payoff at the end. I'm like, you watched a different fucking movie than me.
the wrap up at the end, where you find out where they're trying to go with the story, where you have some kind of crisis in your life and time freezes. I guess that's how I take it. Time froze. So half of the movie where they're facing their fears and bullshit, it all gets backed up, and then the one dude ends up killing his girlfriend, which means that he's now in the club and he's going to be like a John Rotman. He's stuck there forever. Payoff probably wasn't the right word, but wrap up.
Okay, it was
yeah.
not the right word for fucking sure.
The wrap up.
Um,
I'm not in any way saying it's a good movie. I'd probably give
no,
it
I know. No, I'm not.
2
I'm
out
not
of 5
taking you to
stars.
task for this. I
But
legitimately was like, what did you like? You got something. And admittedly, I've already said, right? I mean, I spent a lot of time just like picking up my phone, looking at IMDb and shit, or. Did the, Prime has the fast forward. This is available on Prime if anyone wants to, I mean, you could also just drive fucking butter knives into your eyes and, it's about the same.
I,
But, you could do like the 10-second fast forward. I did a lot of that. Not as much as in four, but quite a bit. So in that regard, it was a better movie than four. In that I did, there was less fast forwarding. There was none of the leave the school, walk down the sidewalk, walk down the stairs, get into the car. Like none of that shit.
yeah, but this had a lot of running in circle.
I
But
mean, thematically that fits. But okay, Jessica, how do you talk about the movie?
okay.
But before you get into it, like, I want you to play off of what Missy just said and like
I can get us there. I can get us to understanding a little bit better, because whenever I watch a movie like this, first of all, horror movies, the cardinal sin, the only thing you can do wrong to me is be boring. And I thought four was boring, which is why I do not like four. This is not boring necessarily. The first part of this movie is boring. And I was watching it without a phone in my hand and just completely glazing over and missing chunks in the beginning. And then things start picking up and I started watching it and it wasn't good. But they were doing things I recognized. So whenever I see older stuff that I start looking for the influences. And I realized this is like a really bad episode of Buffy.
Oh, yes, it is.
Even the monster on the VHS on the poster looks like a Buffy vampire. And this predates Buffy, so it's not ripping off Buffy. But you're watching it and you're like, where the fuck's Buffy? Where's the Scoobies? Why isn't this more fun? When they're doing if you imagine that some of these characters are the characters from Buffy instead, the characters from Buffy would be cracking jokes. They'd be that you'd be getting stuff while they're wandering around.
Right.
Here it's just, this is scary. Walk in a circle, walk in a circle. We better be careful. Walk in a circle, walk in a circle. So they're not giving you anything to be entertaining to reach out for. And then the other thing that I saw where it's a supernatural slasher is what it ends up being, more or less, because you have the what's his name, getting possessed and turning into other creatures and turning into other people and killing people. Just doesn't he keep turning into the teacher?
The guidance. So I'm not 100% sure he's turning into him, but
wearing his face is what I thought he was doing.
Because at some point he does, but then at some point they become independent of one another.
I do not understand their lore. They did not set it up well. Clearly there's a lot of lore. No. There's too much lore, and they don't know what it is, and they don't know how it works. And they can't
reference lore. It's like the movie set with the facades of the stores and there's nothing behind it. It's like they have the club and like a little bit here, but there's no Bible that ties it all together. So none of it really makes sense because it doesn't make sense to them.
Well, there was no setup. They didn't tell us anything. Yes. The movie starts at a prom in a castle and everybody's dressed like Ren Fair or something.
Yeah.
And I mean, they didn't give us any setup for why we're trapped in a castle, or if the teacher is even there, or if it's just like a memory in her head and this thing is playing off it.
I think this is a ripoff of Night of the Demons, which is a ripoff.
It's definitely a Night of the Demons ripoff.
Also, The Church.
I have never seen that. But someone we all know has recommended it to me.
I don't know that I can recommend them. There's things about it that I don't like that make me very uncomfortable.
Is this the Italian one? The Church? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is definitely influenced by that. That was 1989. This is definitely influenced by that, but not in any good way. Okay, but I'm sorry. So, Jessica, continue what you were saying about so they don't have lore, but you had promised to get us there.
It feels no. It feels like they have too much lore. There's some sort of lore about what's going on with these years. There's details where that they must have had something written about backstory or something that they were.
I don't think they did.
I don't think they connected the dots. But that's what I think this is. I think this is like a Night of the Demons pre-Buffy style. It feels like YA, kind of like Buffy does, but they just hadn't nailed that yet. So there's the only people who feel like they know what the tone should be, and neither of them are nailing it, is Christmas Story and Johnny. Those two. Other than that, none of these other people know that this is campy. None of these other people know that this is silly. They think they're in a serious film.
Wait, yes. Johnny, you mean Rotgut or whatever the fuck his name is, right?
Rotman. John Rotman.
Okay.
Johnny in my notes. I don't know where I came up with that.
The fucking, I hate him so, and you know why I hate him? I got this guy's number. This is the guy that it would have been Corey Haim. We could have had a, delightfully cracked out, overdose from Corey Haim. But instead we got this guy. I don't even want to say his name because I don't want to make fun of anybody, but this dude, there's an obvious Nicholson thing, but more than that, it's obviously he's totally doing Beetlejuice, and it sucks.
That's what it is.
He's totally doing Beetlejuice, and it is awful, and it's so blatant that it just pisses me off that the filmmakers went with it, because I feel like I would have been like, hey man, come here. knock that shit off.
They totally
like
told him to. They totally told him
they
to.
well, whether he brought it to the table or they told him to, whatever the case, everybody's fucking guilty, and it's bullshit. I mean, you can't say it's plagiarism, but it's just ignorant. Like, it's so much. It's just so like, I'm surprised they didn't have him wearing a similar outfit. You know what I mean? Like, oh God,
You need to understand that I spent the last portion of this movie trying to figure out who he was imitating, and I was like, was Jim Carrey famous yet? Had that spade, because he's really over the top and rubbery and cartoony. And there's a scene. There is a scene with a chalkboard that is straight the fuck out of Freddy's Dead. It is.
Yeah.
Dude, I was already so annoyed at this movie, and then I'm like, they're literally gonna have this fucking guy run his nails on the chalkboard right now. Like, I felt like they were spitting in my face. Like, you don't think we could get even more annoying? No, I don't. Oh yeah, you know. Oh.
It wasn't okay when Freddy did it, but we allowed it because it was Freddy. You, sir, are no Freddy Krueger, and you're not Beetlejuice or Jim Carrey either. And if everyone in this movie looks like a much more not necessarily much more famous, but a more famous person, and a lot of them are very modern. That guy, if you gave him blonde hair and a little bit of a ruddy complexion and made him gay, that's Lucas Gage. He looks so much like Lucas Gage to me.
Who's Lucas Gage?
Is that the guy from Smile 2?
Beats his face in. Yeah.
Okay.
But also, the nerd, that dude looks like the Sprouse twins.
Yeah, he does.
And then when there were two of him on screen, I was like, did they time travel? Because
he really does. It threw me off too. Both times I watched it, it's really prominent in one scene. That scene with the book where he sees John Rotman is dead and he really, really looked like them, but otherwise he didn't. But in that scene, it kept getting me. It really looked like them.
I kept thinking he looked like, and I'll explain why. I don't even know if he does. I kept thinking he looked like Alanis Morissette.
You are correct, because the person I watched this with kept saying he looked like a pretty Dave Grohl, and Alanis Morissette looks like a pretty Dave Grohl.
I came home yesterday and Kirsten was watching an Alanis Morissette document, and I just do not like Alanis Morissette.
I don't either.
At all. Never have. And so, and I just
because you're not millennials, you don't understand.
No.
But no, that first album.
That was not millennial shit.
I was in high school. I'm a millennial. Yes, it was.
That shit.
Younger people y'all's age were not listening to Alanis Morissette.
I'm sorry. So I had friends. I was in a fucking metal band.
Did they cover you out of know?
No, but I remember this guy, and he's a really nice guy, but he was like, listen, he's like, oh, this album's great. I'm like, dude, the only fucking reason you bought that album is because she talks about blowing a dude in the theater. There's no other reason you were buying. I'm sorry. That is it.
Girls my age worship Alanis.
I know, and Kirsten really liked her voice. She's my age, but she really liked her voice. She, whatever. But so I had just had her, and she's atypical looking, right, for a star.
Yes.
And so I don't know if he looked like Alanis Morissette with blonde hair to me. So I don't know. Missy, so I feel like you really got you were picking up what they were putting down, but there is this point where they explain, and I feel like you really got it. So you have a moment of crisis in your life, time stops, and then you go to hell or some hell dimension.
Hell or
purgatory?
Yeah, or limbo or somewhere in between, some weird in between place. Because at midnight, time stopped. And they were all about to go through something bad. Like, she was getting attacked by the teacher and the boyfriend was unable to stop it. The other guy was about to kill his girlfriend that was going to break up with him.
And he was so nonchalant when he repeated that back to his friend. I was gonna offer.
Yeah, he was. Oh, some of the dialogue is painfully bad.
I feel like his friend did not react the right way either. I forget what he said, but I was like, I feel like I'd be a little bit more concerned than you are, sir.
Especially knowing that he was like an abusive asshole.
Yeah, but what was Alanis Morissette gonna do?
I don't know.
Was he trying to stand up for the girl at some point?
Or I don't know. Well, we'll just let that one float. It doesn't matter. I mean, and the filmmakers might be like, "Oh yeah, we overlooked that. Sorry."
Right?
That really wouldn't surprise me. But so I'm not understanding though. Like I understand that, but it freezes. They face their fears or the greatest fear, and they beat it, right? And then time starts again, and they all just do everything. They all go through this. Like it doesn't prevent anything bad from happening. Doesn't it seem like because they faced the John Rotman, the Beetlejuice of their fears, that like, and they won, that they should have not come out of that? And you know,
you're saying there should have been a lesson, but they all went ahead and fucked up anyway. So what's the point?
Well, it seems like it's like a gauntlet, right? So it's like, okay, this is a moment of crux in your life. You can kill her or you cannot kill her. Right. I'm going to kill her. Time stops. John Rotman shows up, runs around doing his Beetlejuice act. You beat him. You face your fear. Time starts again. You don't kill her. But instead, yeah, like I guess a lesson. I don't know. Lesson seems like so formal for this movie, but I just, it all seems so pointless to me.
But that's the only one that, like, once he killed the girlfriend, then the bad stuff didn't happen to the other people. Like the blonde and her boyfriend were fine.
Well, and Alanis Morissette was still dead. I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And I think maybe I think that they allude that he may have been suicidal. Maybe that's what he was thinking about. And
so maybe that was okay.
Because the club is murderers and suicides.
Murderers and suicides. That's what all the books were. And I agree with you that, Jessica, that they had to have some kind of, maybe the lore was only in their heads, but there had to be some reason that they were going for with that whole, they show us all the pictures of the murderers and the suicides and whatnot. They didn't do anything with it. Just it gets you in the club, and then I guess you get stuck there like John Rotman.
Like there's pieces here that could have worked if they'd done it in a completely different way.
Yeah.
And explain some of it.
Yeah, they tried to do show not tell, I guess, when they should have done a little bit of telling. Because I had no clue what was going on. None.
I didn't either. That's the only reason I put it back on, yesterday, because it's like maybe I'll get a little more. And I mean, I think it really doesn't make any sense, but it made a little more sense the second time around.
I have it going in the background, and it's just Mr. Johnny, his hair gets more ridiculous the movie goes on. He has sort of the classic 90s male part down the middle thing going, but like it's very fluffy. Very fluffy.
Yeah, it is. It's what I call the Bobby Briggs, because he looks like Dana Ashbrook in Twin Peaks a little bit. But Dana Ashbrook wears it way better.
Every cute boy in the 90s had that haircut. That's the cute 90s boy haircut. That's why this particular haircut is why I don't understand broccoli perms on young guys today, because they dress exactly like the 90s, but their hair doesn't look like that, and it's sad.
Did you just say broccoli perms?
Have you seen young dudes lately? They look like broccoli heads. They have broccoli Missy knows, and they get perms. Dudes young guys get perms now.
Women don't even get perms anymore. That's so funny, because I was just saying to Kirsten, like, I kind of miss the perm a little bit, because, like, I don't know, there was like, not like the super perm, but like, I don't know. Okay, this isn't the '90s hair vision, but I don't know. Maybe it should be, but I'm so weirded out by the combination 1-2 punch of broccoli hair and dudes getting perms.
They have to get
He-
perms because you can't get the broccoli hair otherwise.
So like, do they just like if I'm like 16 and I go into the barber, I bring a photo of broccoli. I'm like, just make me look like that, man.
Kind of, yeah.
Or like I picture the barber shop I used to go to that had like a graphic on the wall where it was like different, the fade, the this, the that. So it's like drawings, like illustrations of the different haircuts. And one is just like a piece of broccoli.
Kind of, yes. You'll see. I'll send you a photo of it, and you'll be like, "What?" I have friends who have sons that have gotten perms, like teenage boys. It's wild. It's wild
I
out
mean,
there.
well, there's one thing I know about teenage boys. They will do anything to get teenage girls to notice them. So if teenage girls are, and I'm not putting this on women, I'm not blaming women for this. I'm just saying, Oh, okay. So I want to go back to something. So we've got Kim Coates, who I had just seen recently in when I tried to rewatch Silent Hill. But he's in a bunch
People,
of shit, right?
most people know him from Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, that's what
He was
Kirsten knew him
Tig.
from. Yeah, that's exact. Kirsten's like, that's Tig. Um, so he plays Mr. Carver, who is the guidance counselor who wants to rape Amy and has already raped and murdered several. We haven't seen this. It doesn't even. It was so weird because they set him up early, right? Because Rotman like approaches him, and then like, right. I already knew who. Like, I'm like, okay, this guy's like a demon or something, right? So it's like he knows things, right? And he
Right.
starts saying all this stuff, but then he's gone for Carver. Kim Coates is gone for a lot. Time stops. These 6 or 5 or whatever it is go into this this hell dimension and face their fears, and he's gone. And I'm like, I feel like wouldn't they have transported this character here? Like, why did they leave him out? And then Rotman starts, like Jessica said, he can look like other people to make people afraid, right? So he's taunting Amy and her boyfriend as Carver, but then at some point Carver's just there and Rotman's like alongside him. So what did I like? I don't know, did I miss something? Like what were the mechanics of the Carver character?
I don't think it was fleshed out.
Okay.
I don't think it's really there.
When there were 2 Alanis Morissettes, was one of them supposed to be Johnny?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I didn't take it like that.
I didn't either, but having this conversation and watching it like as it's happening now, I'm kind of like, well, was it?
Maybe.
Was it himself? Or what? Because I thought it was supposed to be his like, because this is the kid that kills himself. I thought it was supposed to be, him, his internal voice that was telling him to kill himself had manifested.
That's how I took it.
That's how I took it too.
If Johnny can wear people's faces, but also they appear, they didn't tell us. They didn't give us any rules.
No, but then in those cases, it's one person. But there's a point where Kyle, the abusive boyfriend, sees himself and the girlfriend, like, and she's she's going down on him and turns her face, and you see her with the tongue and everything.
Yeah.
Right,
So
right.
then who? But John Rotman wouldn't have been either of them.
Well, and actually, that's a really good point because also both of them, at some point, like at one point, he becomes like a demon, right? While they're like fucking or they're gonna fuck or whatever, and then there's another scene where she becomes a demon, and then he wakes up or whatever. So, man,
it was
muddy.
many possessions that made me think Night of the Demon.
Yeah,
Right.
I
Me
can
too.
totally see that.
But in all those other cases, like maybe it could have been Rotman if it was one person, but like in the Kyle Laura, that was the other girl situation, there isn't like I don't think Rotman would have been either of those people. So it doesn't fit with the other ones.
I think they attempted something. I don't think they succeeded, but I do think they attempted something. We didn't need both of the female characters to get assaulted in some way. That didn't need to happen.
Yeah, agreed.
No.
But consider the time. That was the time when that was just in everything for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean it's a made movie, so it deserves a level of respect. Like I believe that, but like I I gave it 0 stars on Letterboxd, and I don't know that I've ever done that. But even
Oh
like
wow.
even
Like,
like you know how much I hate The Crow. But also like like with the Crow is I hate it, but right, but that's my baggage, and even though I
mm-hmm.
don't think it's a good movie at all, a lot of that is because of my love for the graphic novel, but it's still like functions, right? It's like I can
Mm-hmm.
recognize the fact that it's like a movie and it gets up and walks around like a movie and it can speak like a movie. This cannot walk around or speak like a movie at all. And the Beetlejuice thing is like the closest it comes to it, and that's why that pisses me off so much. It's like the only thing that really has any kind of moving parts or like really carries the movie, and it's just shtick that's appropriated from something else that was within 5 years of it. It just really irritates me a lot, and not because I'm like super. I mean, Beetlejuice is fine, the first one, not the second one, but I just I don't know. I felt like I mean, it would be like if you make a movie about whatever, and then you just have a character that's clearly Ash, right? He
Mm-hmm.
acts exactly the same. He's got a chainsaw hand. I mean, it would be people would be irritated, be like, what the fuck, man? Like you can homage it, you can appropriate it and dress it up differently, and like there's times when I'm like, oh, okay, I could totally see how this person is like kind of an Ash kind of character or whatever, but I mean, oh my God, it's just so weak because of that, I feel. I mean, it's weak for many reasons, but that just especially. Also, I don't know if it's just a transfer, but like it looked awful. It's on Prime. It looks awful. Like, and I know a lot of stuff didn't make it out of that period. I'm sure somebody probably transferred this right from a fucking VHS.
Oh yeah.
Probably. I mean,
It looks awful.
now the funny thing is, I think, and you guys are right on about the Beetlejuice thing, but I didn't. I mean, I didn't catch that. It didn't feel like that to me. He just felt like he was trying to be obnoxious.
There was something about it to me. Like I said, I couldn't quite pinpoint Beetlejuice, but there was something about it to me where I was like, he's aping someone else's performance here.
Okay.
This dude is not
Yeah.
good enough of an actor to come up with this on his own, and that's a pretty big performance. He's not. He didn't like fall into stupid. Like he was maintaining the Beetlejuiciness of it. I mean, it wasn't funny,
Mm-hmm.
but
No, it wasn't funny.
He didn't veer into like goofy or anything like that. He was still holding his own, but it was because he was stealing a fully formed character.
Well, and I think in retrospect, I think you're right that it wasn't just him, that it was the filmmakers, because it goes beyond just being his like gesticulations and his delivery and his
It's
cadence and whatever. It's written that way because there's even those moments where it's like the choices of the filmmakers, like it'll cut and like this, he'll be like, let me teach you something, and he's at a blackboard and they're sitting at a desk and the one guy's got a dunce cap on. It's so it's those sudden like environmental changes that incorporate the other characters, and he'll change shape or he'll be wearing something different or what. It's just they were absolutely it wasn't just him. They were going after that exactly, lifting that straight from Beetlejuice, and that's just.
Yeah, the whole time I was watching the Rotman character, I just kept thinking they should have let us have a cracked out Corey Haim.
Yeah, I'm very
totally.
disappointed.
It would have been way funner.
Although, I mean, maybe if we've isolated that it was the filmmakers, maybe it would have just been cracked out Corey Haim doing Beetlejuice, and then maybe that wouldn't have been any better. So I don't know.
That's true.
I'm not. We shouldn't pine for what could have been with the club, right? It's like, like we'll do an episode where, like, your biggest regret, like what you pine for the most, is like, well, the Guillermo del Toro's, Mountains of Madness and the Club with Corey Haim for sure. The two pillars of what could have been in my life.
At least it wasn't Catholic.
Yeah.
No, it was Ren Fair instead.
Yeah, but at least it wasn't boring. It was stupid and it didn't make any fucking sense, but
Correct. It makes a lot of sense if you picture somebody in a boardroom going, yeah, we should add Beetlejuice.
Well,
Yeah.
and it just felt like watching, late night cable in the 90s.
Very much so.
Yeah.
I think maybe that's why once it got rolling, I didn't mind it so much, because it just felt like watching cable at 3 a.m. when I was in high school.
I could, and I didn't have cable, but I know what you mean. I think, and also, so you had a nostalgia trigger with it, right? So like that helps,
It hit me there too.
Okay.
It felt like direct to VHS.
Yeah.
You've rented everything else in the horror section. Let's try this one.
Mm-hmm. And we've all tried lots of those. I miss video stores so much.
Yeah.
That's what Tubi is for.
Yeah, but the video store didn't assault me with ads.
True.
Yeah, we didn't really go over the people involved in making this movie, but I don't really want to, because I feel like I'll be calling them out. I mean, I'm happy they had work and got paid to do this. I don't know.
They made a movie.
Yeah. And it has a bit of a cult following. If you look at like a couple of the reviews on like IMDb or Letterboxd, there are people who like it because it's nostalgic and stupid.
Yes.
So it's not good, but I think it has found its people. And I don't mind, like, we do live for this shit. Like, I would have wanted to check it out anyways. And
exactly. The second I heard, there's one that would have been the 5th, I was like, well, we got to watch that.
Right.
We're fans. It's what we do.
Yeah, but again, I wish I had just left alone and not said that. But
hey, at least
whatever.
It washed away some of the bad taste from 4.
Oh,
4 was just so bad.
Not for me. It made me remember 4 fondly.
Well, think of it this way. Next pick is yours, and I mean, we're going to do the Prowler and the Burning, right? So
yes,
those
Prowler
are
and the
good
Burning next.
slasher movies.
Any final thoughts on the Club?
No, but I want to talk about the Prowler.
So we will end here, and we'll be back with the Prowler and the Burning. This is the Horror Vision presents Slasher Party. I'm Sean.
I'm Missy.
And I'm Jessica.
When incoming high school senior Lisa McCready's boyfriend and classmates are brutally murdered at a party in the neighborhoods, the quiet suburban community of Sundown Hills transforms into a paranoid nightmare. Betrayal, corruption, and dark family secrets push Lisa dead center into a burgeoning class war where rival millionaires plot to steal the town's future between reliance on big oil and the incoming age of legalized weed, electric cars, and social conscience. As she struggles for answers, the killings continue, and Lisa finds the world she knew is little more than a lie to placate the masses and keep a satanic 1% in power. From the demented mind of Sean C. Baker, author of Murder Virus, A Collection of Desires, and Volume 4, comes Black Gloves and Broken Hearts, Teenage Giallo Mystery.